I think that's us he's talking about, Bailey. Dave Despade and David Bailey, former GP winner here, as Werner DeWitt saddles up for the first of 2-point-paying motos on a twisty, turny Budds Creek racetrack.
Well, we've seen it already once this year. There's a lot of jumps. There's some shade. There's some fast stuff, uphills and downhills. These guys are going to be busy out there today.
As we prepare for the drop of the gate, start is always critical in international motocross competition, and the start here is unique. A real uphill charge, and up and over the crest, it looks like the whole shot will belong to Jeff Emig, but we've got trouble in turn one. A big tangle. Jeff Stanton is among those involved. Kevin Krein and Todd DeHoop also in it. A good start for number 64. That's John Dowd. The Yamahas run 1-2. DeMaria and Bervoets both have good starts. They're out third and fourth. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. I want to stop this and look here. A photographer standing on the racetrack when the field come through. Obviously a major problem for the front runners. You won't see exactly what happened, but from a trackside home video camera, we do get a sense of what happened to Jeff Stanton.
Well, I think what's happening here is that's a big surprise to anybody as they crest that hill and see someone standing in the middle of the track, and obviously it caused a little bit of a traffic jam in the first corner on the inside. And as you see Stanton right here, the bike just gets away from him. I think his concentration was thrown off by that mess, and here he's got to remount way at the back of the pack. He's got a lot of work to do now.
Virtually everyone will have passed the former American champion by the time he gets going again. So out front, Emig, clear of all that trouble, has clear sailing indeed, and has only his teammate to contend with for the moment. The international stars get tangled up at the top of the hill, and a couple of Americans run 1-2 in the early going here at the United States Grand Prix, off to a bit of a rough start. Unless, of course, you are Jeff Emig, riding outdoors for the first time in his pro career on a 250 and doing pretty well at that. He talked about that before the race. Well, something certainly helped him out so far. He's your leader. This is the battle for third, and look who's in it. Number 2 is Stefan Everts, and that is remarkable. Just a couple of weeks after breaking his collarbone, he's got a 6-inch titanium pin holding his upper body together, but number 2 with an opportunity here to collect championship points and close in on world championship leader Greg Albertine, is running a solid fourth. That's pretty impressive. He's still got to be hurting.
Oh, it's definitely got to hurt. I never, fortunately, broke my collarbone, but I mean, there's so much strength that it takes to ride the bike, and more than strength is the flexibility.
Let's go to Art Ekman. He's standing by with Brian Berry, John Dowd's mechanic.
A brilliant start, but he's got the Frenchman on his tail.
Yeah, I don't think he knows who he has on his tail. He doesn't know who any of these guys are, so maybe that's a good thing. You know, if he doesn't know who they are, maybe he'll just keep going straight and chasing Emig because he knows Emig. So,
well, with a 30-minute moto, it's going to take a lot of endurance in this humidity.
Yeah, he's been training pretty hard, though. I think it'll help him. I don't know what kind of shape those guys are in. I don't know how Jeff's going to do on a 250. There's a lot of factors right now that could help out John, or maybe won't be to his advantage, but hopefully they will.
Well, getting dialed in even more on that new bike certainly helps.
Yeah, we're looking forward to next weekend a lot.
The point there, I think, being that not only are the Europeans worried about next week in the World Championship, but the Americans, like John Dowd here, number 64, are worried about the National Championship, which is what they receive their big bonus checks for.
Right. Looks like it's going to be Millville, and John Dowd's opportunity to get on that factory bike and go out there and show what he can do. Pretty
good battle going on here between Bervoets on the Johnson BFA Suzuki and his pursuer on the Kawasaki, Stefan Everts. Budds Creek, Maryland, the U.S. GP Motocross, John Dowd circulating in second spot behind his teammate Jeff Emig, who has built a big lead. Marnique Bervoets continues to run in third spot, pursued by Stefan Everts, the man who is trying here to pull out a world championship, racing with a broken collarbone just 2 weeks after that fracture, and I find that pretty remarkable.
That's amazing. The kind of athletes that these guys are. I mean, the ability to have so much strength to do what they're doing, and then to be able to do it while injured. I mean, like I said, I didn't break my collarbone. I have no idea how bad that feels, but I've ridden injured, and it's on your mind the whole time. It hurts.
Two things working for him: his own courageous performance and the lousy start for the reigning world champ Greg Albertine, 10th. At the end of the first lap and going backwards. Here is the guy, Werner DeWitt, who hit the photographer at the top of the hill. That was the trigger for the big turn 1 pileup that dropped Jeff Stanton to the back of this pack. And DeWitt has more problems. And now look at Everts. He's on the move, collarbone or no. He's out jumping Bervoets and taking over 3rd spot. Pure heroics.
Well, there's some of that effort he just talked about. I mean, to pass the guy on a jump, I mean, you know, that's got to hurt. It's got to hurt just to ride around. Then he out jumps the guy and lands on the face of that hill, then goes off up in the air again into the corner, lands hard again. I think he can get away with it. He's one of the smoother riders out there on the track. Here's another look back. He reminds me a little bit of Jean-Michel Bayle. He's smoother. He's a little more clever. He tends to work really good with the bike, and that enables him probably to be able to get away with that pain. His body stays very still out there when he rides.
He has another similarity to Jean-Michel Bayle, the past AMA Supercross champ, and that is that he's coming to America. All indications are that both Albertine, the reigning world champ, and this man, number 2 in the world, Stefan Everts, will both race full-time in America. Albertine is definitely coming next year, and Everts, it appears, will probably wait until 1996. He still wants to win that 250 World Championship before he makes the move. He's closing in on John Dowd. Dowd can hear the footsteps, I think.
Oh, you bet. He's putting a lot of pressure on him right here. He's very close. If Dowd makes any mistake, Everts is by. Remember I said Everts is very clever. He chooses different lines in a lot of places, and I don't think you'll see him following too closely in the same line. He's looking for places to pass.
You see the crowd urging John Dowd on. It is very much a pro-American gathering here as we watch Bervoets and Everts, and they have closed right up to the rear wheel of John Dowd, the American who runs second. Emig is all alone out front. It is his race to win. The story in this one is Everts and his opportunity to close in. He lacked 30 points, a 30-point gap coming into this race in terms of catching the world champ Albertine and the championship point leader. However, he will take a big bite out of that lead right now. And here is an attempted pass on Dowd that came just a bit short. That was a high-risk maneuver.
Well, Dowd's a tough boy. You know, he's not going to just get out of the way. He's going to get in there and muscle it out. He doesn't have that much longer to go in this first moto, and if he can hold him off, that'd be a great performance.
One thing we have not talked a lot about is the oppressive heat and humidity here at Budds Creek. It is hot, and that is certainly going to take its toll, too, particularly, I would think, on Everts, who hasn't had as much opportunity to train.
Well, it's difficult enough, I mean, as we talked about earlier, to ride with an injury.
But we have had a change in 3rd spot, the ongoing battle between Marnik Bervoets, number 5, and Stefan Everts, number 2. And you see a bobble there by Everts. It was just such a bobble that allowed Bervoets to move back up into the 3rd spot, and they continue to put the pressure on Dowd. Despite the occasional mistake, Everts holding on to a top 5 position, very valuable in terms of world championship points. I'm beginning to wonder if the issue here isn't whether John Dowd can hold on. Are these two international guys going to get around Dowd? Is he holding them up a little bit?
Well, you know, I think he looks like a little bit of a roadblock right here. I mean, these guys are swapping positions behind him, and they still can't get around. I wonder if they could, if they wouldn't just pull away. But, you know, it's still, that's racing. Dowd is doing a good job of holding him off. And, you know, a second-place finish, like I said before, would be a great performance, and it's going to look good for Team Yamaha.
And I don't see them putting a lot of pressure on him. It's not, they're certainly not, you know, nerfing him to try to get him out of the way. In fact, Bervoets, 4th in the world, a Belgian Suzuki rider, has had his hands pretty well full with Everts thus far. John Dowd doing a good job trying to make a 1-2 American sweep, and that would certainly please the American fans here. In terms of the championship, Bervoets is 15 back on Yves Demaria, who is 5th on the racetrack and in danger of losing some of the momentum that he's had coming into this event. He's won 2 in a row, but we haven't seen him among the front runners yet. Whole story is this battle right here for 2nd spot.
Well, it's a great battle, but you know what? One thing we got to definitely bring up is the fact that Emig is gone. I mean, he is riding fantastic, and unfortunately, that's not the place to be to get coverage. You know, this is where the battle is, and he's going to be bummed when he sees this.
When you're leading the thing by 5 seconds, they never see you on TV. That's the nature of the business. You stay where the action is, and right now the action is for 2nd spot as Everts continues to hang on in the heat, humidity, and the pain. And Marnik Bervoets hopes to relive the glory of Finland when he scored his first World Championship Moto victory. Once you taste that win, once you know how to do it, then, boy, you start thinking, hey, I'd like to do that every week.
It becomes a little easier once you've done it once. You already have a clear picture in your mind of what it's like, and a lot of these guys visualize things before they actually happen. They think about the races, and if you've already won one, it's a little easier to have that picture in your mind of what it takes.
Albert Vogt is pulling away a bit from Everts at this moment and trying desperately to get around Dowd. Meanwhile, let's update the progress, if you can call it that, of Greg Albertine. He has climbed back to 10th place, which is where he started. He slipped back to 15th. The World Championship point leader, very much a non-story thus far today at Budds Creek, and he has to be devastated because he's healthy. I mean, he's here with the opportunity to open up the point lead over Everts, and instead Everts is running well in front of him, and Albertine is going nowhere. That's got to be pretty demoralizing.
Yes, it is. There was a time when I broke my wrist and came back to ride a race, and all I really wanted to do was get points, and everybody that was healthy had problems that day. Whether they crashed in the first turn, one guy got a flat tire. I ended up winning the event. So Everts is, he's made a gamble here and tried to ride a race, make some points up, and it's really looking like it's paying off now.
He's doing a terrific job here as the GP stars come to America to try to do something with the Americans, who currently run 1-2. It's Emig and Dowd on the Yamahas up front. And we'll be back with the finish of the first moto. We're back at Budds Creek, Maryland. Jonathan Beasley bringing the U.S. Grand Prix to his beautiful Maryland circuit here, where the crowd have packed in to watch a pretty good battle here for 5th and 6th. Number 48, Steve Lamson, the American, under a lot of pressure from Yves Demaria, the Frenchman, who is on a roll. He's got 2 GP wins in a row coming in here, but he's had his hands full all day with Lamson. This battle's been going on lap after lap.
Well, it's getting later in the race, and usually the Americans have the advantage in this kind of heat over the Europeans, and also Lamson did quite well here during the national championship round on the 125, so he's got this track pretty dialed in.
Demaria led Lamson for about half the race. Lamson passed him. Demaria has caught him back up and appears to be trying to make some sort of a late race move. He certainly is counting points. He comes here 3rd in the world and some 59 points behind Everts. But again, with Everts hurt, Demaria saw an opportunity to perhaps get up to 2nd place in the World Championship. If nothing else, he wants to maintain that momentum. Was that a wave to the crowd, or was he going for a tear-off there?
Yeah, I see him reaching up there. He didn't have enough time. He wanted to reach up. They have like what they call a roll-off, where they pull this string out and it pulls a film across the goggle lens, like what you see in auto racing when they clear the camera vision. And following that roost of Lamson so close like that, he's going to have to keep reaching for that to get clear vision.
Well, that's exactly what he's doing, too. He's been riding right in Lamson's roost for a good while. Now you see him trying some different lines, trying to make a pass, and he may have it right here. He takes the inside line. They're handlebar to handlebar over the jump. Lamson will out-jump him and have the inside line as they come to the left-hander at the top of the hill. Demaria squares it off. Pretty good battle for position.
Sure. Demaria right up the inside there. When you square off one corner, gives you the inside into the next one, and he just muscled his way right through there. Lamson was just riding a little bit too relaxed for that attack from Demaria.
Lamson left the door open just a crack. Demaria ran up there and shoved the front wheel in. Here it comes right here.
Yeah, Demaria had squared the corner off previous to this one, and it gave him the inside line here again, and Lamson just left enough room for him to squeeze through there. That was a nice, strong move by Demaria.
Kid's good. He's got Roger DeCoster as his coach. He rides the Pepsi-Cola Honda. DeCoster, of course, a legend in American motocross. One of the pioneers who brought the sport to America. One of the first winners in American GP competition. And now we see Jeff Emig en route to an easy moto victory. And I wonder, when that gate dropped, if he thought it was going to be such a piece of cake.
You don't know what to expect. This is his first GP. It's his first time on a 250 outdoors. I mean, there's a lot of firsts here for him today, and for it to have gone this smooth, he's got to be feeling good there on one of those drop waves. He waved at the crowd. I mean, he's just savoring this. There he waves again. It's got to feel great. I remember my first Grand Prix at Unadilla. I won the first moto. I didn't win the event, but it's still a very memorable event just from that one moto win.
Now we saw the shot of Steve Butler, Jeff's mechanic, a moment ago. He likes this event because he's not the only guy who talks funny this weekend. Steve is Australian and feels right at home here in this international gathering of motocross talent who are all playing second fiddle to his man, Jeff Emig, today. It's a terrific run for Yamaha as Emig puts the 250 out front. His focus in the National Championship Series is the 125 class. You see those races on the Deuce, ESPN2. Emig has won a couple of races, his fifth in the championship standings. He's a former 125 national champion. But right now, all he's hearing is the cheer of the American fans as they bring him toward the checkered flag. And I suppose he hasn't yet started to think about the regrouping that he's got to do in this heat in anticipation of the second
He's still savoring this victory right here. I mean, you can hear the fans. It's got to feel great. I remember when I won my first GP Moto. It feels fantastic. And, you know, he didn't have to ride very hard. He had a good lead, and he's probably conserved a lot of energy going to this next Moto.
A couple of things to point out for votes past Dowd for second spot. DeMaria rounds out the top 5, and Greg Albertine, the world champion, struggled to 10th. Let's go to Art Ekman with the winner.